Welcome everybody to another edition of the Tech Woke Podcast. My name is Chris, and on this podcast we talk about cybersecurity, career, and life. And in today's podcast, we're going to be talking to a great guest. His name is John Carthern. He is a R&D engineer with a specialty in physical and cybersecurity. So without further ado, we're going to welcome our guest. What's up, John? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
It's good to meet you. You know, Herlane told me about what you do, and I was just like, I can't wait to have a conversation with you. So, how you doing?
Pretty good. Currently working on some proposals, so, a little stressed, but.
I got you. We're going to get through it. You know, in our field, it's kind of stress already. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
Yeah, so tell me about where you grew up.
In the Sea Pleasant area, around D.C., PG County line.
Okay, yeah, you grew up in the trenches, man. You know, I'm from D.C.
Yeah, it's in that area. My mom was from North Carolina. She moved down to D.C., so my brothers are from the D.C. area, and then we moved a little bit further out to that line, and then as I got older, maybe around high school, we moved a little bit further out towards up Marlboro, Bowie.
Oh, that's cool. So tell me about your upbringing.
It was pretty general. I don't think it was anything unique. My parents were a lot older, so I got I got away with a lot of things.
Okay.
My mom was 42. Mm-hmm. My dad was 62 when they had me, so I was a miracle baby.
Okay.
It took me a while to figure out what that meant, but yeah, pretty decent upbringing.
So tell me about high school. Was you into tech in high school?
I was. It kind of stemmed from before high school, but all the way up from elementary school through middle school and high school, I was the kid in the neighborhood that would fix your computer. Everyone had older parents, and I would go in and fix their Windows computer that didn't work, DOS, stuff like that, the printer, any and everything. So that's kind of how I got to start working with technology. Besides my brother, he used to have computer viruses laying around back in the day from like Windows 95. I remember the first time I put a Michael Jackson virus in the computer and I didn't know what it meant. And I quickly found out on Michael Jackson's birthday. I don't know if anybody would know about that, but yeah. So every Michael Jackson's birthday, the virus would cause more damage on your computer.
Oh, dang. So just more and more every time. Okay.
Every birthday, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was you that kid that people go to, hey, you need to jailbreak my iPhone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you made some good money.
I didn't necessarily charge them. Okay. Every now and then I would, but for the most part, this was my close circle. And again, I grew up in Sea Pleasant, and it was a rougher area, So by me just being very technical savvy, people, they gave me a pass real easily, and I didn't have to. They gave me a pass.
Like, just let them go through. That's how it was, I played sports, and certain things, I could just walk in certain neighborhoods and be like, oh, that's just keep it going.
Yeah.
So, that's good. So you're in high school, you're transitioning to college. Did you think about getting into tech around that time?
No, I actually went into the medical field. My mom is a nurse. I wanted to also go into nursing or become a doctor. And about halfway through, I'm like, okay, I'm going into the hospitals doing internships or leading up to that because I was getting closer to the nursing classes, and I saw how the hospital environment actually is outside of the surgical environment, like a medical intensive care environment, and I took a hard pivot from that. Yeah.
And just to emphasize, what school was you attending?
Bowie State University.
Oh yeah, I'm an alumni.
Same here.
Yeah. Even with me, I wanted to get into the medical field at first. But because even in my high school, I was always intrigued with medical. I always wanted to heal people. Even ex-girlfriend, whatever, or girls I was with, I was just taking care of them, making sure they're good. And I'm really, when harsh situations go down, I really know how to handle those types of situations. So that's why I wanted to get into the medical field. So when I went to Bowie and majored in biology, I was like, man, it's not for me. Then I started seeing the blood. I can't handle it, so I get it. It just scared you off.
Well, no, the blood doesn't bother me. The cutting, anything gruesome, it doesn't bother me. It's more so the pathogens or bacteria that I don't necessarily want to deal with. Because if this person coughs and then I get sick with something that is not easily curable, that's what gets to me.
Yeah, especially during COVID, I was seeing so many people just cough and sneeze, and I was like, "How much you paying y'all?" Some of them was only getting like $15. I'm like, "Y'all risking your life for $15?"
Where?
The CVS, where they dealing with the
Oh,
COVID test.
gotcha. Yeah, a lot of people came up during that period with doing like I believe ventilation specialists or respiratory specialists.
Mm-hmm.
They were getting paid double, triple time. They traveling, they getting bonuses here and there. So they came up during that period, but a lot of people lost money during that period.
I got you. So you was in nursing. You didn't get into nursing. So would you change your major?
I switched into criminal justice.
Okay.
This is the period where Bowie, they had the criminal justice major, and then again, 2 years down the road, they got rid of the criminal justice major. And I'm talking to my advisor, what were you advising me under? So I had to get that worked out. It was a very challenging process, but we got it worked out. And I graduated with a sociology and a pre-law degree.
All right, that's good. I'm a criminal justice major, and I can feel your pain. I took Dr. Dr. Newsom, and I took Dr. Adams, so trust me, that program was no joke.
Same here.
Did it help? That program probably prepared you for your career going forward.
It did. Yep.
It does. They put you through the ringer. So I've learned how to network everything during that program. So yeah. So you graduated Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
You're a criminal justice major. You was like, oh, so what am I gonna do? What I'm gonna do? Most times they don't even tell you about clearances, but I'm pretty sure you probably went the cop route.
Yes. So I was going to work for DC Police. I got hired. Was going to go into the academy, and this is a good reason not to talk too much. I ended up disqualifying myself by I had gotten into an accident, and this litigation stemmed over 5 years. It was a pretty bad accident. I wasn't at fault, but the other parties were challenging other parties in the accident. It was just a messy situation, and by me bringing this up during a interview, they figured out that you can't be in the academy while in litigation. So that kind of canceled that route.
Yeah, because even with me, I had things in my career where I talk too much, and then they'll just report something or whatever. The thing I learned working is just they're not your friends. Nobody's your friend, but everybody's trying to get one over you, or they just want to say, "Oh, I know something to get rid of him." So
Right.
Trust me, I understand. So you got out that situation. So what did you do after that, or when did you start making? What did you do after, and then also when did you start trying to get into the tech field?
Well, so I applied to several different agencies, and I had that working, and it's a pretty stressful process. You got to go through polygraphs, you got to do the physical tests, training courses, and so forth. And I started working at a temp agency. I don't even know if it's a temp agency. It was a logistics company. Mm-hmm. They did government contracting at ICE. Because my ultimate goal was to get into the FBI. Mm-hmm. But I needed specialized experience to get to the FBI at that age. Because I'm 19, 20, so pretty young. 19, 20. So I ended up moving items around the ICE building, mm-hmm. the ICE headquarters downtown. And I looked in the server room one day and was like, oh, I can do that. And this is just from me being naturally in tech. And somebody on the team, you can? And I got hired to do that technical position there. So That's kind of how it started for me, my actual career.
Hey, closed mouths don't get fed. So he was like, hey, I can do this job. Hey, put me in here. And he was like, bring me in this. Yeah, that's smart.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
So did you have to get in this? Was you working for the temp agency at the time?
Yes. So it was the same company. They just moved me into a different position.
Oh, okay. So this is a contracting company?
Yep.
Did you have to get a clearance for this company?
I did.
Which one did you get? And can you explain the importance of having a clearance?
So it's important to have a clearance because, well, it's important to keep your background clear so you are clearable in the first place or have everything expunged and your record sealed. So when you have your clearance, you have a lot more opportunity because you can shadow other people that need to come into the facility as well as you make more money.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah. So this was a DHS clearance, so it's a little different from the DoD clearances. I wanted to go straight to a DoD clearance, but I think they realized that if I got a DoD clearance immediately, that I probably would leave as soon as the process was over. Mm-hmm. The only reason I say that is because your DHS clearance is gone as soon as you quit that job. It does not stay with you, and your DoD clearance stays for 5 years, or 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, because for me, working at different agencies, they always told me don't go DHS because your careers get demoted. The DOD is kind of standard, or you can get an FBI. You get it with
Correct.
FBI, NSA, then you're good. But that's why I never went to that agency.
Correct. I found out the hard way. One day the contract expired and I didn't know. I tried to get into the building. My clearance was gone.
Oh.
So that was a very interesting experience because they like to search through every single thing in your book bag and on your person. And yeah, it's very interesting. So the other interesting is that they immediately re-granted my clearance. So I guess that's the advantage of a DHS clearance is if the person on that contract is high enough or the customer, they can grant you a clearance almost immediately.
That's good. Oh, that's a good situation. So for this contract, did you have to get a certification also?
I don't think it was mandatory for me to have certifications, but I did get certifications after that.
Okay, which one?
So Security Plus, Network Plus, CCNA, various others. So one of my friends, he works at a 3-letter agency. We were talking one day. He literally gave me a hard drive with everything I needed, every certification, everything that I needed to move my career forward. I just had to take the time to go through it, and yeah.
And just to pivot again, so why did you want to get into tech? Was it more money? Is that the reason why you wanted to get into
Job security.
Job security.
Money. The money is secondary to me. Back then, it's more so primary now because my son. So, but job security. Everything's going forward into technology. I don't want to go pivot off into anything else that isn't as relevant.
Yeah, that's a smart move because more and more I keep seeing AI, you know, and I feel like even for us, our job security is scary at this point. I don't know if we are, but I do know if we're monitoring the AI or we're learning with AI, then our job is going to be more secure. But
right, I think AI could probably take a lot of jobs within the near future. It's very capable right now. It's more capable than most humans, in a non-physical aspect. So it's very dangerous moving forward. When I say dangerous, I'm not necessarily saying danger as in it may destroy your computer or something like that. Dangerous as in you could lose your position because people are trying to be efficient. The companies are running lean. They want more profits. So it's in their best interest to actually offload to AI.
Yes, yeah. Even with me, it helps out with certain things. AI helps out with scripting, things like that if I need equipment. But the more and more I'm gonna start adapting more. I probably gotta start learning coding too, so I can more integrate it more into my day-to-day activities.
Right. I think in reference to coding, I think the best thing you could learn is how to think like a program, think like a computer thinks. And then that way, don't focus too much on the syntax, because as long as you know how to pseudocode, you can essentially learn any coding language and write the code. And at this point, the AI will write the code for you. You just need to know how to tell the AI to write the code.
Okay, we're gonna get to that a little bit later. But so, what was your first position in tech? When you said
I was on a green team.
What did you
So that's I would scrub assets from sensitive data and make sure there were no leaks of any confidential CUI, any information like that. There's a specific DoD erasure standard that you have to zero out the hard drives. So just this being said, any magnetic hard drive, when you delete something, it's still there. You're just telling the computer that it's okay to be written over. Even more importantly, the solid state in SD cards and digital drives, it's not the same way as the magnetic drives. When you delete something, it could still be somewhere on that drive, fragmented, something like that. And the best way to get rid of that is to destroy it in the microwave or to physically destroy it and burn it.
I'll keep that in mind if I have some, next time somebody goes through my phone. Because I always think when you're deleting something on your phone, I would think it's gone, but
no. It's still there.
It's still there, so it's a way to always get it.
If you're experienced enough, yes.
Okay.
And it depends on how long ago you deleted it. So if you delete something 5 minutes ago, I'm probably going to be able to recover it. But if you deleted it 5 years ago, I may not be able to recover it. Maybe. It's a lot harder to.
Okay. And this position you was doing when you was with ICE?
Yes.
Okay, so
Well, yeah, one of the positions.
okay, so did you ever make a transition to work for the actual government?
No, I haven't worked directly for the government yet. That's been a back and forth with me because their pay is a lot lower. But
Yeah.
speaking with Herlane and Bees, they've highlighted certain paths that I could take to elevate my income while working directly for the government.
Well, that's good. And so, okay, so you did this position when you were scrubbing data, destroying data. What did you do after?
After moving from ICE, so I went into during that same time, I started working for this company called Juxtopia, and they did R&D and some pen testing for medical devices, like pacemaker or I don't want to go into too much of it, like optical things, like augmented reality. So just imagine being able to take a pair of glasses and you're not a trained medical professional and there's a patient in front of you and you put on these glasses and now you know exactly how to do this procedure, like apply a tourniquet.
Oh, that's cool. So you can put on the glasses and it can show you how to do a surgery, or
Yeah, well, not necessarily do a surgery, but do a simple medical practice like applying a tourniquet. It will overlay that instruction over the person.
oh, is it like what those Apple glasses? Is it like something like that?
Way back then, yes.
Oh, so we had that technology before. Okay, so
Apple just brought it to the masses, kind of perfected it.
they had the money. Money talks.
Yep.
So this is when you was doing physical pen testing.
Yes.
Okay.
So that goes into a few different realms of wireless physical pen testing. Like you can go around war driving, being able to take like a Flipper Zero. I carry one with me almost all the time. Being able
What
to.
is that?
It's a pen testing. Well, it's a Swiss Army knife of pen testing tools together. All these tools exist outside of the Flipper Zero, and you don't need the Flipper Zero to do it. But the Flipper Zero brings them all together, so you can easily do them on the fly.
So just give me an example of what the tools would do. Like, are you injecting into the hardware, or are you trying to break a password?
It's so depending on what it is. Let's say you wanted to enter a facility like the front door here with a key card or something like that. If I found you at a bar or something with your key card and I knew you worked there, I could clone your key card and then enter into the facility, or I could brute force the key reader itself.
Okay. So you can stand near me and it'll just clone the clone the fob. Okay. So how do you so being a do you use that for physical pen testing? Okay. Can you explain what physical pen testing is?
When you get into a building and then you'll plug in like a USB or something like that, and give access to somebody on the other end, like another engineer that will own the computer system or something like that. But more so just physically getting into a enclave or something like that.
Okay, so how would you explain me the process on how you would break into a building? Like, say, for example, you're trying to break in this building. How would you do it? Would you dress like the people, or how does it work? Because it sounds like you were like a CIA agent out here, man.
So first of all, you need to carry your highlighter vest and your clipboard, and maybe a hard hat. Maybe have some credentials or something that could get you out of trouble if you have any questions or anything asked to you. And then do recon and see who works there, kind of assess the security in general, and then depending on what you find, you take that information and run with it. You kind of, if let's say the front door here, I don't necessarily need to do recon because I know that lock is susceptible to a brute force attack, a wireless brute force attack. So it's a little bit easier for that. But more of a high security environment like a bank or something like that, that's where you really do the recon.
What are some of the craziest places you ever broke into?
I wouldn't. Yeah, because it was on a military base. Well, it's part of an actual test, so I wasn't just erroneously going around and going into things. So.
Yeah, because I would think too, if somebody catches you, I'm pretty sure you had the credentials to show, hey,
right.
I'm with this.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Yep.
So how would somebody get into pen testing? Because I hear that's a new buzz. It's a field that everybody's trying to get into right now. So.
It depends on what you want to do ultimately, because you still have to kind of get the OSCP side of it. But as far as the physical pen testing, you kind of want to go into the engineering side of it as well. And that's kind of what I want to go into.
Okay, so Do you need like any certs for it, or with knowing the network, do you need no Linux things like that? Would that help out for getting the pen testing?
Yeah, you need Red Hat, Rail. Is various. You need a very comprehensive knowledge of all the systems together. It's not particularly one thing that you can gain knowledge on and really just know the systems. It's a comprehensive knowledge of everything from hardware all the way up to the software side.
Oh, okay, so you just can't just get into it in like a year. It's going to something you're going to probably have to be working at for a number of years to put everything together.
Right.
Okay. And are you working with a team where you're a physical pen tester?
Usually like one or two people. It depends on what you're doing. So at like Juxtopia, maybe two other people, something like that. But let's say I'm working on an IoT device, it's just me.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a controlled environment. I'm seeing if I can get into this device and then exploit it, and then now I can report that to the company that hired us. Bug bounties as well. You could do it. This is freelance. You could go to websites and with their permission attempt to get into the website or a building or their Wi-Fi, and then give them a report on that, and they'll pay you to fix the vulnerabilities.
I heard they pay you big money, sometimes in the millions.
They do.
Yeah.
Larger companies, yes.
Okay. So, what other where other websites can they go to learn how to do pen testing? Like Try Hack Me, things like that.
Yeah, try Hack Me. Mainly OSCP. I would start with that.
Because even with the OSCP, I hear a lot of people can't even get jobs when they first get the OSCP. It probably take a little time after that.
It does. You have to apply a lot to maybe like Booz Allen. That's one of the places applied back in the day. Deloitte. It is a little difficult to get hired. You end up kind of making your own agency, freelancing a lot, and then either somebody will hire you to do like a broad range of buildings, like let's say the VA buildings or something like that.
So in physical pen testing, and pen testing in general, you're going to need to create a lot of documentation to document
Correct.
the process?
Correct. You anything you find, any recon that you do, like say for instance, you leave your key card on your belt while you're walking down the street. After you're outside the facility, that's something I would report to them. Any vulnerabilities, patches that need to be done, you want to...
Want to pause it? Okay.
You want any vulnerabilities, patches, or anything like that, you want to report to them. And you document everything, every single thing that goes through, because if you do get caught during this pen test, you want to make sure that you don't have any law enforcement repercussions.
Oh, okay. So when you're documenting, like you're saying, hey, I opened this door, hey, I called this person, or hey, or what are you documenting like?
So you document every single thing you do. You would say what protocol you use to breach the door, why you were able to do that, what the fix is. You almost like the peanut butter and the jelly making experiment with you have to give out a list of instructions to how for somebody can make a sandwich. You need to give out the same list of instructions to get into the facility as well as breach any computers or any hardware like that.
Okay, that's an interesting field. I didn't even know physical security was even in physical pen testing was even an aspect you can focus on.
Right, it is. So imagine going past a sentry booth or a guard booth. You need to have a correct credential to get past that. Let's say you got a credential and then you put a fake picture on it with a copy of somebody else's credential. You know, the guard may not even look at it and let you through. That's a breach right there. As well as like magnetic doors. If you lose power to the door, you could just push the door open. It's so many different aspects of physical security that you can breach. Just getting into the facility, that's the first part.
Okay. Can you explain the importance of physical security?
Well, if you have access to the physical hardware of somebody's network, then you can own their network. Yeah, there's no such thing as cybersecurity if you have physical access to that device, unless you have encryption, but it's still very limited.
Yeah, because working in the federal government, I'm sit down and I'm wondering why is it security so tight? And I noticed they have it just in case in that situation. Somebody can pretend to be smoking outside. You know, just hey, that's why you have the CAC, so you can make sure that you're that person you claim. Because there's times people use other people's CACs,
right,
and things like that. So that's an important way to go in that field. So
right. Even I'm working on a project now where they verify that your CAC is your CAC based on your biometrics.
Oh, okay.
So
like an eye scan? Or?
I don't want to go into it,
Cool.
But to prevent that, so that's being deployed, and they also want to keep it from saving any of your biometric information, so it's in real time.
That's cool. Yeah. It's needed, just to make sure, because even at my job, I found out recently somebody was scanning somebody else's CAC, and I was like, you're putting why are you doing that,
Right. But that's more so the small scale. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Stingray cell sites around where like someone will come out and they will repeat the cell service back to your phone. So any information you send from your phone to that Stinger cell site, they can read, because regular cell phone service isn't encrypted.
Yeah. What is Stinger? I'm not sure what that is.
It's a clone. It's a repeat cellular device, like a hotspot almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's important. And then, so what do you currently do now?
R&D.
Okay, what is R&D?
Research and development.
Okay, so you're a specialist in R&D. Do you do any coding?
I do. So I'm not a very efficient coder, but I get it done. It'll work at the end of it, and then I'll hand it off to somebody that's very efficient, and that's all they do is write code.
Okay, so do you do full stack?
Exactly. Okay. So I'll go from firmware all the way up from the hardware that I'm working on, or even a COTS device, which is a customer off-the-shelf device, and then I'll integrate multiple other devices together into that one device, or whatever the customer's needs are, up through the software side to provide them a product.
So how did you learn coding?
No, it kind of stemmed with the reverse engineering malware aspect way back during ICE days. Mm-hmm. I started to learn code, writing Python scripts, things like that. I didn't necessarily like Python because the language was so close to like English. It would confuse me a little, so I ended up being really strong with JavaScript and Node. Kind of self-taught through that.
Well, that's amazing. Because people always say you can just learn code, and I've been talking to so many people, and they learn code just by practicing every day. Mm-hmm. What are some type of the resources you use?
Oh man, Coding Dojo and that hard drive my friend gave me way back when. So most of the resources came from that, and then other online resources just supplemented that. But YouTube is a big proponent of that.
Even those books for dummies help too.
Yeah. I would use YouTube over that because I feel like people read those books and then go on YouTube and try to get some money. So, yeah.
It's not a bad hustle,
It isn't. Actually, one of my favorite YouTubers, he's passed on now, but he explained how he came up with his YouTube videos, and he said he just reads a book and literally gives the script from the book. He does the experiment out of that and blew up, a huge YouTuber.
Smart man. Smart man, because even for me, help people get jobs. I always talk about learn a skill and just and as you learn it, post it on LinkedIn, or post it on YouTube.
Right. Yep. I'm not as social as I need to be. Mm-hmm. I'm more of a technical individual, so doesn't come as easy to just post my socials and post on LinkedIn, but getting there.
This episode is sponsored by NordVPN. Protect your online browsing with NordVPN. Please click the link down below. You get 75% off NordVPN when you click the link down below. Every portion goes back to the channel. Check it out. Back to the video. So, John, tell me about what research and development is.
It's different aspects of it. It's kind of taking, being innovative. You take something that may be pre-existing, and then you figure out how to add something to it and figure out how to make something new. That's more innovation, but research is just testing using the engineering process, going step by step and figuring out what works and doesn't work.
Yeah, because that's how I think Tesla be. They just think about things, and like they created the Boring Company. They created robots now, so that's kind of what you do. You just sit down and just say what we need in the future.
Well, he figures out the problem and why things are done in a certain manner, and if it doesn't make sense, then you need to figure out how to do it more efficiently.
Okay. So your specialty is cybersecurity and physical security. Do you have anything to do with AI?
Yes. So I'm actually focusing more on AI because AI helps in the aspect of cybersecurity and physical security. on the physical security side, that's what the dog here eventually will help a lot with, because the AI will be on the dog. And now it's taking those same cybersecurity concepts and bringing them into the physical world. So just imagine a dog being able to detect you because your phone Wi-Fi is on, and it finds that signal, sees the signal strength, and then it goes and figures out where it is.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. Like, literally, you can have a robot walk around. It can detect things that's in the area.
Right.
So it's like, it's kind of sniffing in a way, you know?
Yeah, like war driving. But the AI on the bot will say, hey, this is a new signature, because your digital signature, your digital footprint is how you're identified. Even the police do this now. But your digital signature is very unique to you, and if the bot picks up on something that's new, he'll come and find it.
Oh, that's crazy. So, like, the robots and things you're working on now, so this is like, so it's going to be kind of like a security guard in a way.
Potentially. Not there yet, but right now more so just using AI to secure your computers and look for any malicious emails. If you click a bad link, sniffing that traffic and saying, okay, where's this traffic going? Is it going to China? Is it going to Russia? Is it going to Africa? You know, so.
Can you tell me about the different types of AI? I think most people know about generative AI. Can you kind of explain a little bit more on maybe the ones you're using?
Like, so neural networks, there are many different types of AI.
What's a neural network?
Like your brain.
Okay.
So to go into that more, it gets really technical really fast. That would be a completely different podcast. Okay. So just like a different type of, like an AN or it's so many different types of neural networks. But essentially, researchers don't necessarily know exactly how some neural networks work. Like GPT, they don't know past a certain point how it's figuring out those answers or even relating the words to another word to create that sentence. So
is that how all AI works, or because I was looking into generative and maybe open AI, and they said that they didn't even know until recently that it can do majority of the stuff that they're putting in.
They actually don't know exactly what it can do yet. They're still figuring out everything it can do. But AI is, again, a very broad topic, because AI could be a self-adjusting clock. Like, it knows that the quartz crystal is off by this amount of milliseconds per year, and it auto-adjusts, and they could say that's an AI clock. Or anything that self-adjusts, anything that's smart. But when you get up into a neural network and open AI aspect, that's kind of a combination of many different topics together.
Okay. So
because that's a transformer, which again is a little bit beyond the scope of this.
Okay, so you're creating robots, and you're creating the software to help detect malicious emails.
All types of things.
All stuff.
Yeah.
So how would people protect themselves from cyber attacks in a way?
Oh man, don't click links. That's the first thing. Don't make sure when you're sending out pictures that it doesn't have your GPS coordinates in it. It is a lot of different aspects of how you can protect yourself. Don't give out your phone number to people. Oh man, again, that's a very broad topic. Just start. I literally have to think of where to start with that.
It's many different forms. I understand.
Right. What aspect would you want to?
Yeah, just security. I know for most people, they have like a couple digits on their passwords, just basic stuff. Maybe what's that thing you can put on your phone, or it can encrypt your data coming in and out? What's that?
VPNs.
Yeah, VPNs.
So VPNs are starting to get a little outdated. They're doing overlay networks because depending on the type of firewall you're behind, a VPN may or may not go through that. So if you have a overlay network, it will punch holes through the firewall. Again, very technical aspect.
I got you. Well, let's go back to the AI portion. Do you think AI will eventually start taking people's jobs, or is it currently doing it now?
It's already started. Even at the McDonald's line, there's a fully automated McDonald's where you pull up, there's a language model talking to you. You speak to the device and tell it what you want, it understands, and then there's a robot inside. Well, I wouldn't even say robot, it's automation at that point. There's automation machines that are taking your hamburger, flipping it, cooking it, and then putting it out through a window.
Oh, for real? So I can go to a McDonald's, order something, and it'll cook the whole meal. And
The entire meal. The McDonald's has no people in it.
If the audience listen, hey, you better go get some skills because it's
plumbing.
getting dangerous. It's getting dangerous out here.
Yep. Or learn how to make the AIs.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's even. How would you get in the field?
So you could either start with being self-taught and then YouTube it, and then eventually go off to a certification course, or maybe University of Texas or something like that. Continue your experience. Depends on what phase you are in life you are.
I got you. So we'll just go outside of cybersecurity. I just want to kind of get on the personal portion because everybody talks about, what you're doing in the field and everything. But just tell me about mental health. Is mental health? What do you do to help with your mental health?
So I'm a natural techie, so I deal with it at work and outside of work. It doesn't seem like work to me, and I'm so interested in it that I actually have to mentally remove myself from so many technical things and not devalue my time by always working on something. Getting enough sleep, stress levels, keeping those down.
You like exercise, play video game, things like that?
So the reason I try not to play too many video games is because your dopamine levels get really heightened during playing that game, and when you go to do some work, it's very hard to be motivated to do your work now. So I try to stay away from the games. I usually actually work with robotics and very technical things, drones, stuff like that, outside of work.
So either way, it's still a stress relief
it's a stress relief for me to literally work on technical projects. But I guess for someone that's not as technical outside of work, maybe, I don't know, cutting the grass, stuff like that. I'm a little bit different on that aspect because I do it all the time. All the time.
You ever had imposter syndrome working in the field?
I don't think so.
That's good.
I could maybe think of a few cases where I would think of you don't belong here or something like that, but.
Have you ever you never thought hey, maybe this is not the field for me, or maybe because there's been times I sat on a meeting one time, and they was talking about something, and then I tuned out for a second. I was like, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? These people talking about some stuff. I don't know how I got here. You never had that?
No, I actually had that when I was playing video games. So I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah, because, on Call of Duty, you get every few minutes you die and spawn again. And I'm like, what am I doing? I could be making money right now. So
I stopped playing Call of Duty. It's not for me. Story games.
Me either. Yeah, story games as well. But, sometimes it hits me with the epiphany. I'm sitting here 4 hours in a dungeon or something, and I'm like, what am I doing? Halfway through, so it's literally an epiphany moment. Man, I wish we could go down that road. That's where you kind of sit here, we're talking to each other, and then you step outside your body and look at yourself in that third persona.
That's how I feel sometimes. I'd be like, who is this guy? Why am I here?
Yeah, well, that's a unique ability. A lot of people can't do that.
So you got a girlfriend?
I do.
Okay, girlfriend. Okay. Yeah, you getting money? I was like, hey, somebody about to snatch you up, man.
She's a software engineer. So
she understands what you're doing?
Yep. Not the cybersecurity side of it or the hardware side of it, but the software side. She knows exactly what I'm doing, and sometimes she laughs at it because I'm not as efficient as a programmer as she is because she went to school for that. Yeah. So I'll get it done. It'll work, but she'll look at me like, "Why'd you do that? Your run time's long."
You ever get the side eye every now and then?
I do. Yeah. I can't even. It's more to that, but yes.
Okay, so you're getting money in cybersecurity. You're making good money. Is there any investments you put in outside of?
Of course, I'm really big into cryptocurrency. I got into crypto when Bitcoin first started, maybe in 2009, 10. I didn't know what it was, and I still kick myself to this day. There was this thing called a Bitcoin faucet. So I would go and collect Bitcoin every day, like maybe like 3 or 4 Bitcoin daily, and I don't know where it is. So unfortunately, I mean, it's in my mom's house somewhere on a piece of paper, but I'm pretty sure she's probably thrown that away by now. But other than that, just investing in cryptocurrency heavily. Roth IRAs, well, self-directed IRAs where you can use your assets to purchase company assets, and make sure you talk to your tax attorney. Yeah.
That's a good thing to do. You always, when you're in the field, I understand where you're getting money in the field, but you always got to have investments for the later on.
Yes.
Back on the Bitcoin thing, I wrote a whole paper for my master's program on Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. I know everything, a good majority on Bitcoin. I know we still don't know who created it.
Right.
But it can be used in banking, farming, and my dumb self didn't buy any Bitcoin. I wrote a whole paper about it, and that was in a time when it was still cheap. I could have been cashed out by now, but you know, and I'm just mad because I literally did all the research and I just passed on it. So that's a good investment. Yeah.
Well, you don't want to cash out. The key is that if you stay in Bitcoin long enough, you'll be able to use that as currency, because the U.S. holds Bitcoin. Every single bank in the U.S. can hold Bitcoin. It just depends if they want to or not. It's a lot of different things that are coming up in that aspect, as well as like the U.S. is switching over to digital currency with the FedNow system. That's again a totally different topic, but
yeah. So if you're listening, audience, you might want to. This is not financial advice, but you want to make sure you're protecting yourself after your career, because you're gonna get money, but you still have to put it in a certain place also.
Right. And sometimes it's not about how much money you make, it's about how you spend that money. Because at some point, if you're making over a certain amount, the taxes, you're going to need to figure out tax strategies to prevent so much of your money being taken away. Because the more money you make, the higher tax bracket you get in. And if you really look at your finances, you're kind of working more and more for free. So, yeah.
Do you think you might get into government contract in the future?
Yes. So looking at contracts every day, with solicitations, and seeing what's available based on my past performance.
Okay, so that's a good investment. But we're going to close things out. Could you? I did want to ask, what's your goals in the next 5 years?
Within the next 5 years, complete my dog here and have language models on it that learn continuously and can help me in everyday life, almost like a movie style HAL, or what's another AI that is a movie style AI, and then secure a few more government contracts, set up a few more cryptocurrency mines, stuff like that. So like cryptocurrency mining, like setting up a facility to mine Bitcoin, and then which is very similar to how Visa verifies their transactions. It's the same equivalent, so stuff like that.
Yeah, crypto is a good investment. I wish I had got it in more, but we're going to slowly get back into cryptocurrency and just get more investments in it. But I'm about to close things out. Thank everybody for watching the Tech Woke Podcast. It was a great episode. Remember, everybody, to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and share the video to everybody. Also, check out the Tech Woke Consulting website below, and also join the newsletter. Remember, everybody, get 1% better every day. That's it, everybody. Peace out. I'll see you on the next one.